Hey guys, how are you doing? Peter here, and I wanted to do a video on how you remember things. And the reason is that I get people asking me or telling me that if you don't remember something, you are very unlikely to remember it or come up with the solution there. And maybe in an exam environment where you're time pressured and you need to move on, maybe that's true to some extent. But I disagree with the fact that if you don't immediately remember something, you are not going to come up with it at any point. Now, today we're going to discuss the reasons why you remember things and how you remember things and why other things you forget. And first of all, we're going to start with that fact that your mind is not a straight line and it doesn't work like this. So you know something and you remember it. That's not really the case. And your mind works more like a network. That means actually basically that in order to come back to a memory that you need, there are several channels that can lead you to that thing. How easy it is to get back to your memory that you need depends on different factors and circumstances. And so we are going to use a couple of examples to show these and to show how more easily you can come back to memories. So the first example is that, let's say you're learning finance and you want to remember the definition for working capital. And so working capital is basically company's current assets minus the company's current liabilities. So pretty simple definition there. And the other example that we're going to take is that you'll find out that you are going to become a parent, so a mother or a father. And obviously the second thing you're going to remember pretty easily. And the first thing, again, it's a simple example for the definition, but you might remember it or you might not remember it. So why is this the case? Well, once you hear the news that you're going to become a parent, that is going to have a huge implication on your life. It's going to impact you long term, it's going to change your lifestyle and your life forever, basically. And also, you are going to visualize how you're going to become a parent and what's that going to be for you. You're going to have to plan your life around it. That's going to be a huge impact on your life. You will also share it with people. So let's say you're going to tell your parents, you're going to tell your friends, and so on. So sharing, you're going to remember the environment or where you heard it for the first time. So you are going to be knowledgeable. For example, you heard it in your public transport or your car or when you were at home. So you're going to be mindful of that as well. You can't keep that level of interest and engagement for everything in your life. But what you want to do is you want to introduce some of those elements to when you're learning important things, concepts, definitions, and so on. So what you want to do is when you're learning to be mindful of those things and basically go ahead and ask yourself these questions when you are learning. So what is the impact that this is going to have? Obviously, working capital is not going to have probably the same impact on your life as becoming a parent, but it's going to have maybe some impact on your career or on your in your workplace or for going to an exam or something else. So it's going to have some impact. So you can ask yourself, okay, what's the impact this is going to have or further implications? And then again, you can ask yourself, okay, how would I visualize this? So you can use an association or something that you can easily understand to better remember it or better remember what you're trying to learn and remember. You're not probably going to be super excited and share that definition with your friends and your parents, but you can still share with your teacher, professor, or study partners or someone else. You can be mindful of the environment where you learned this. So for example, you were again in a public transport, at home, whatever, when you found this out, so you can still be mindful of that as well. And again, you can give yourself some examples of working capital that can be from your personal life, so you can compare your assets to your liabilities or whatever. It can be with a company or something else memorable that you can use. So again, you can introduce some of these points when learning, and this is going to be a huge benefit for you going forward when you try to remember it. Because like we mentioned, your mind is a network, it's not a straight line. There is a much bigger chance that your neurochannels are going to bring that memory back to you when you need it. So to summarize, basically you need to be mindful when learning. You need to ask those questions when you're learning important topics, and you need to use them when you need to recall the information and basically poke at your mind with those questions in order to bring that memory back. So I hope this was helpful, and if you watched the video up to this part, I want you to do a couple of things. I want you to practice next time when you're learning to poke your knowledge with those questions and use them in order to remember things well. And if you liked the video, give it a like and share it with friends or with someone that you think might need to know this or for whom it might be useful. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.